Hello everyone, this is Keith Bailey coming at you with picks and predictions for NFL Week 11. Another week is gone. And, excuse me, I don't know what to call it. Is it a anomaly? Is it luck? Is it just... I don't know, but all I have to say is I am shocked. I'm floored. I'm astounded. Um, and those words don't even come close in describing the Titans right now. Um, I did not expect that. I really didn't. I mean, you throw Aaron Rodgers in a must-win situation in practically a home game. Are you kidding me? Did you see how many Packer fans were at that game? It was ungodly. It was a home game for the Packers. Come on, Titan Nation. Show up and support your team. Don't let half the stands be coated with green and yellow. But I guess that's what a um, premier popular team like that'll do when you put them up against a small market team. But all I have to say is I'm shocked, and I'll talk about Tennessee more when they play their next game as I go through the slates of games that we have for this week. So first up, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling to take on the Carolina Panthers in Thursday Night Football. One sec, gotta shut my door. Alright. The New Orleans Saints. I don't even know if they were robbed, but all I know is that might be one of the worst special teams miscues I've ever seen in my entire life. You go from gonna take the lead and kick an extra point to, oh, by the way, you're losing by 2 points, you need to recover an onside kick, kick a game-winning field goal, and win the game. I mean, this was ridiculous, and I think the Carolina Panthers are gonna win this week because they blew it against the Panthers blew it against Kansas City, but the difference is the Saints are not the Chiefs. New Orleans doesn't have the defense Kansas City does, and Carolina didn't even allow an offensive touchdown by Kansas City. The Saints already beat the Panthers once this year. I don't see them getting the sweep. Panthers get the win, 28-27. The heck was that? All right, moving on. We got the Steelers at the Browns. Yeah. Pittsburgh. The Steelers get back on the winning track in this game. Pittsburgh won't lose God knows how many games in a row. Pittsburgh fans don't even really need to worry. I know this is picking an away team in a rivalry, but this is the Browns we're talking about. Did you see them on Thursday night? Pittsburgh gets the win here, 35-17 over Cleveland. The Browns were competitive, and now all the wheels have just come off. So Pittsburgh gets back on track, and they get to 5-5. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas needs to lose sometime here. Yes, this is an impressive start. They're 8-1, but they're not going to get to 15-1. They're going to drop a couple more games. They have played a very easy schedule if you look at who they've played so far. I mean, I know they've played their counterparts in the NFC East who have been solid, but it's not like the Bengals Browns are killing it this year. Who else have they played? They play the they play their own division. Oh yeah, they play the West. Is it? No, they don't play the West. Who's Dallas played? Who have the Dallas Cowboys played this year? Let's look this up. Dallas Cowboys schedule. Okay, here we go. They lost to the Giants at home in week 1. Oh, wow, yeah, this schedule, though. Okay. Alright, we got some talking to do. Okay. They beat Washington, which, yeah, that's impressive. And then they played the Bears, and then the Niners, then the Bengals, which Cincinnati isn't making any noise. And then they beat Green Bay, who doesn't look like much. Then they beat the Eagles. That's impressive. And then they beat the Browns. And then they beat the Steelers. So going through their schedule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the teams that they have played have losing records. The other 3 are in their own division. The Giants, Redskins, and Eagles are the only teams Dallas has played with a winning record this year. That's sad. Every other team on their schedule that's not from the East has a losing record. I mean, I'm not going to fault Dallas for getting to 8-1, but then again, it's not like they've played monstrous competition. And it's not like the teams that they've played that have winning records, the Giants, Redskins, and Eagles, are world beaters either. I think the hardest game that they have probably had on their schedule to this point was this Steelers game. And this is a Steelers team that's 4-5 right now. So things will get tougher down the stretch, hopefully, maybe. I mean, wow. Actually, no, not really. They only play a couple more teams with winning records on the stretch. The Ravens is one of them. The Vikings is one of them, but that deserves an asterisk with the way Minnesota's playing right now. And then you got the Redskins, Giants, and Eagles. So, congrats, Dallas. You're going 13-3, but what are you going to do in the playoffs? That being said, back to my pick. I know I travel off left field there. I think Dallas gets the win. I know they got to lose it at some point again, but the Ravens will keep it close. 23-20. I think Dallas gets the win here at home. Next, Jaguars at Lions. Detroit's going to win this game. The Jaguars, yeah, the Lions are going to win this game by a score of, I want to say, 27-19. I think the Jags will keep it somewhat close, but the Jaguars won't beat the Lions. Detroit is sitting in the driver's seat in the NFC North right now. They're the only team in the North that shows any kind of consistency, even though that consistency is inconsistent. Because, honestly, the Packers and Vikings are on losing streaks right now, that's for sure. Next up, we got the Titans at the Colts. This is where your typical 5-minute Keith rant is going to happen. Right. So, I think this is fact. I know this is my opinion, but I honestly believe that the Tennessee Titans have the most talented team in the AFC South. Which, when you think about it, it makes sense. The Jaguars suck. The Colts have Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton. Who else do they have? The 31st ranked defense in the NFL, or 30th, or whatever it is. Are you kidding me? This Colts team doesn't have as much talent as Tennessee. The Texans. Again, are you kidding me? Every single time the Texans play a team that's top notch in the NFL, they get their shit wrecked. Okay? The Texans' 5 wins this year. I mean, yes, the impressive one has been Kansas City. They did beat the Chiefs. I will give them that. But their other victories have come against the freaking Bears, Jeez, who else? They beat Detroit, which I guess that's also one that's up there, but they beat the Jaguars. They beat 3 of their wins have come inside the AFC South. Barely, I should say. They barely beat the Colts. They barely beat the Jaguars. They barely beat the Titans. This team wins close and gets blown out against elite competition. So I think the Houston Texans aren't nearly as talented as Tennessee, especially at the quarterback position. Brock Osweiler might be the worst quarterback in the NFL. And with the way Marcus Mariota is playing right now, I think Mariota might be one of the if I would go as far as to say Mariota is the best quarterback in the AFC South right now. Andrew Luck, yes, he is solid. But right now, I would go with Mariota over Luck. Right now, not based on history. Um, that might change, who knows? But I'm still picking the Colts to win. I am. I mean, I'm very impressed with what Tennessee has done up to this point. They're 5-5. Yes, they played the Packers and they destroyed them. Yes, but it is a psychological thing with them, and I don't know what it is. They need to prove me wrong again. This is the season where they need to prove me wrong because Tennessee has no excuses. The Colts are a team, honestly, with respect to Poetic Kid. Shout out of the week goes out to him, Colts fan. A little friendly rivalry over here. Good luck to you, buddy, this week. But to be fair, Indianapolis, like I said, they only have Andrew Luck. They only have T.Y. Hilton. Tennessee with Mariota, with Tennessee has a better offensive line, a better defensive line. Secondary is about even. A better running game. Quarterback, I already went over. Tennessee should destroy the Colts. If you look at each team on paper and how healthy Tennessee is too, oh my god, that's insane. But if you look at each of these teams on paper, the Tennessee Titans should destroy the Indianapolis Colts. But it doesn't work like that. It's a psychological thing with them. I don't know what it is. No one knows what it is. This is a streak that's going to end at some point, but I don't think it'll end here. I would love for it to end here. Are you kidding me? Going 6-5 with Chicago on deck? Are you kidding me? You know how excited that would make me? But it's too good to be true. And life as a Titans fan is that if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So, I'm picking the Colts 34-31. This game will be close. I think Tennessee will end up rebounding and beat Chicago to get to 6-6, but right now, I think the Indianapolis gets the sweep over Tennessee. Tennessee's still learning. They're still trying to find out who they are. They found out in the last couple of weeks, finally, how talented they are and how competitive and dominant they can be. But the question is now, can they transfer that single week to a week-to-week basis? Like what teams like the Patriots or the Raiders or Kansas City or the Cardinals last year can do. So we'll figure that out. Next up, we got the Bills at the Bengals. I'm going with Cincy. I don't know why I'm going with Cincy because, to be honest, the Bengals scare me. The Bengals haven't done anything this year. The Bengals have been a complete letdown. They're in the division race, as funny as that is. But I mean, Cincinnati, it's now or never for Cincy. They need to win this game. The Bills are a solid team, but I think they're catching the Bengals at the wrong time here. I think Cincy gets the win 27-25 over the Bills. Next up, we have the Buccaneers at the Chiefs. Again, a game that should be easy. I think Kansas City gets this win. Easy. 29-23. The thing is, Kansas City isn't really known for blowing their opponents' doors off. They're just known for being consistent and being able to win games and letting the opposing team get a garbage touchdown to end the game, because why the hell not? That'll be the case in this game as well. The Buccaneers are not a good football team. The only teams that the Buccaneers have beaten this year are the 49ers, the Bears, the Panthers minus Cam Newton, and Atlanta, which was their only impressive win of the year. Going into Atlanta and beating the Falcons is their only impressive win of the year. Other than that, their wins have come against scrubs. Kansas City is not a scrub. Next up, we got the Bears at the Giants. Speaking of scrubs, the Bears, I think, are going to get scrubbed by the Giants. Giants go to 7-3. 30-14. No, I can't give their defense 14. Yeah, the Giants' defense isn't that good. I'll do 30-20. I'll give Chicago a little more respect. But are you kidding me with that performance against the Bucks? It looks like this Bears team is quit. Alshon Jeffrey is out. That's going to be monstrous loss. The Giants should get to 7-3. Next up, we got the Cardinals at the Vikings in what I think is a very interesting game. Because on one end you have the Cardinals who apparently like to play down to their competition, and the Vikings are on a 4-game losing streak. And the question is, when does that end? I mean, this streak has got to end at some point, you would think, at least. I mean, these two teams played last year and was what was probably one of the best games of the regular season. But with that being said, I gotta go with Arizona here because although the Cardinals are 4-1, if you look at their games, they should have beaten the Seahawks. They missed a 19-yard. Most of the losses have come off of missed field goals to end the game. The Cardinals. Let's look this up. Let's look up how competitive the Cardinals schedule. All right, let's do some research here. Arizona should have started off 1-0. Let me just get that out of the way. Chandler Catanzaro missed a some yard field goal at the end of the game against the Patriots. I mean, they should have beaten the Patriots, okay? And they swallowed Tampa. And then the Bills game was weird. They should have beaten the Rams. They made a big mistake at the end of the game. They crushed the Niners. They crushed the Jets. They tie against Seattle only because Catanzaro can't make a 19-yard field goal. I mean, if you look at their schedule, this is a team that should be 5-4, 6 and they should be 6-3 right now, if it weren't for missed field goals at the end of games. And 6-3 isn't even including that just wasted game against the Rams that they should have won. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. We're going to find out if this Cardinals team is going to make any noise in the next couple weeks. In the next 4... Oh, wow, shit. The rest of their schedule is not a cakewalk. Alright, they're at the Vikings, at the Falcons, home against the Redskins, at Miami. 4 straight teams with winning records. And then home against the Saints, and that's not a gimme. At Seattle, that sure isn't a gimme. And at the Rams, that isn't even a gimme. So this is going to be a rough patch for Arizona if they want to get into the playoffs. But I think they start off on the right foot. I think they beat the Vikings 23-17 in overtime. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Rams. I almost said St. Louis again. Miami will win this game, I think. And that pains me to say it because for once in like a blue moon and in my lifetime, the Titans are actually in a playoff race. So this game actually matters to Tennessee. As weird as that sounds. We beat Miami, so we have the tiebreaker over them. But the Rams are starting Goff, and they're probably starting Goff for the rest of the year, which means they're pretty much saying screw the season. We're gonna lose probably the majority of our remaining games. We want to see what this kid's got. Which why not? I mean, you did give up an arm and a leg for the kid. Jeez. But Miami, I believe, gets the win here by a score of 21-10 over the Rams because the Rams have no offense. The Rams win games by scoring 9 points. That's 2 of the Rams wins have been when they score 9 points, as weird as that is. Next up, we got the Patriots at the 49ers. I think the Patriots take this game by a score of 83-2. Would that surprise you? Seriously. This is probably the most lopsided matchup of the week. New England will go into San Francisco, blow their doors off by the tune of 42-14, I'll say. Or I'll throw 21 on there just for garbage time's sake. But New England is going to take out. This is a Niners team playing a pissed off Patriots team too. They just lost at home to Seattle. No one wants to play the Patriots right now. Next up, got the Eagles at the Seahawks. Seattle gets the win because the Eagles can't win away from home. And the Seahawks, I think, win. They eke another game out because that's all the Seahawks seem to be good for. 24-20 over the Eagles. I don't know what it is. I'm not a believer in the Seahawks. I didn't move them up from 5-2 in my power rankings because I can't have a team at 2 in my power rankings that lost a game to the Rams. I just can't. The Seahawks lost to the Rams The Seahawks should have lost to the Cardinals. They were very lucky not to lose to Arizona, very lucky not to lose to Miami, very lucky not to lose to Buffalo, especially when you consider the refs, and very lucky not to lose to the Falcons because that was pass interference at the end of the game. I mean, this is a Seahawks team that has gotten away with a lot this year. And this is also a Seahawks team that I don't really believe in too much. Are they the challengers to Dallas in this conference? Yes, they are. But I think I don't think the Seahawks are truly a talented football team. I just think they have won their games this year based off of the experience they have in closing games out and being a solid football team. Next up, we got the Packers at the Redskins. Call me crazy. I'm picking the Packers to rebound here. The Redskins, believe it or not, they've only lost one of their last 7 games. The Redskins. When you say it that way, that's a little surprising, isn't it? The Redskins have lost one of their last 7 games, but they're due. They are due for a loss. Green Bay is pissed off beyond more than I thought they were last week. I mean, this is a team that is desperate for a win at this point. So I think Green Bay goes into Washington, and Aaron Rodgers has himself a day, to the tune of a score of 35-28 over Washington. Next up, speak of the devil, we got the Texans traveling to take on the Raiders. It's Houston traveling to take on an elite football team. And guess what's going to happen? The Raiders are probably going to get their drawers blown off. But I'll be a little more generous. I'll say 24-14. Raiders get the win over the Houston Texans, dropping them to 6-4 on the year. Oakland gets to 8-2 because the Raiders are solid. That is why. Those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys all next time.